So I finally jumped ship and got the iPhone. Hey guys, this is Chester here. You guys are watching our channel right here at Chester and Unboxing. Today we'll be taking a look at one of the most popular phones of all time. Okay, maybe not all time, but 2021, okay? And yeah, definitely 2021. So this is the iPhone 13 Pro. Not the regular iPhone 13. So why did I change it? I'm actually daily driving a Samsung Note 10, an amazing phone by the way, but it's old and it's starting to slow down, and the battery life is starting to get worse and worse. But hey, I thought, you know, maybe when I'm going for my upgrade, I can change to a better Samsung phone, right? Maybe the Z Fold, for example. But the Z Fold price is ridiculous. Like the price of a Z Fold, right? I can go and buy a MacBook Pro, or you know, an equivalent like a ZenBook laptop. So like that is so expensive. So this was actually an option. To be honest, disclaimer here, I only got this purely because of the high refresh rate. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of phones using the 60 Hz. Like, you know, it's true. Once you go 120 and beyond, you will never look back at 60 Hz ever again. Anyway, this is the iPhone 13 Pro. Yay! And one good thing about it is, there's actually many good things about it, but one good thing that I really like is the notch is physically smaller. So last time, right, it is so fat. The notch is fat, like I could even see the battery percentage. And disclaimer, right, no, you can't enable back the battery percentage because the notch is not small enough. So more about that later in my own personal opinion. That's the Without further ado, let's take a look at the box itself. So you can see it's thin. You know why? Because they don't have any more charger. Cheapskate. Hey, if you want to say, you know, save the environment and not making money, then by all means take away the charger, alright? But at least give a discount when you want users to buy the charger, because like people like me who transiting from Android, we do not have an Apple charger. So we need to go and buy, and FYI, this is expensive. That's why the box is so thin, because it's just the phone and stuff like that. So let's take a look at the box itself. You get the phone. Yeah, this is the Gold edition with 128 gigs of storage. So I don't really need a lot because I have the habit of clearing out my photos and my stuffs, you know, every once in a while. Okay, moving around, that's about it. I really like the Gold though. It's not flashy, but at the same time, it shows a statement. Anyway, opening it up. Ta-da! So when you open it up, you have the phone itself. So this is the iPhone 13 Pro, meaning that this is the 6.1 inch version and not the Pro Max. I am personally a fan of smaller sized screens. Other than the phone itself, you will find the cable. So this cable is USB-C to Lightning, alright? And you'll find the accessories, which is your this is the SIM card remover tool, and the instruction guides, and one sticker, just one. Okay, so that's about all that you'll find inside the phone case. So it's a little pathetic. Yeah. So what are the accompanying accessories that I bought with it, right? Is the firstly, I think this is crucial to everybody. This is the Lightning to aux. So Lightning to 3.5mm adapter. So you can plug in your earpiece and listen to music while you're on it. If you're like me, who don't really like wireless, yeah, I'm the very traditional kind, okay? And of course, you have to purchase this charger. So the iPhone 13 Pro, right, they actually supports more than 20 watts of charging. So if let's say if you just go and get the regular 20 watt version, it will charge fast, correct? But you can't really use it to you can't really charge it to its fastest potential. So down to the phone itself, right? So this default sticker, it's just a very quick guide to show you what the different buttons are. So for example, this is the power button. Okay, this is the volume down, volume up. Okay, and this is the alarm button. So up is to the silent mode is off, down silent mode will be on, which means that it's only vibrating. And then over here is the SIM card removal tool, the removal tray. Okay, down to the other side, you see the big ass cameras. So yes, good cameras are great. So iPhones, they had a infamous history of, you know, the cameras are exceptional in daylight, but nighttime,
stop it.
Yeah.
Get some help.
But I heard that over in this generation, they really improved it a lot, especially in their night settings. So I take it as a good thing. Talking about the specs a little bit, right? So in terms of dimensions, your length or height in the Apple website, the length is 146 millimeters. Okay, the width, it is 71 millimeters, and the height, it is 7.8, or the depth, 7.8 millimeters. Okay, 146 by 71 by 7.8 millimeters. So it is pretty good, but it is above 200 grams. So I don't know if that affects some people, but I really appreciate the heft to it, because if your phone is too light, it feels like a toy. You get what I mean? If it's too plasticky, you know, it feels like a toy. But this has weight because it's freaking stainless steel. So steel is heavy. So that's why it's actually heavier than the regular iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 uses aluminium, so it's a little bit lighter, and aluminium has different colors. So the color palette, that explains why the color palette is different. Talking about the CPU now, so the internal CPU of the iPhone 13 series is A15. So this is their latest one. So A15 is basically the fastest the fastest phone processor in the market. Actually, it's been like that for a while now. The screen, okay, now let's take this out. Yay! So just a very quick disclaimer, I've already, you know, took it out. I've already just a very quick setup on the phone. Yay! That's that. Yeah. So oh my god, can you see it? Oh my god, look at it. The smooth refresh rate. Woo-hoo-hoo. The screen is actually 6.1 inches diagonally, and it has the Liquid Retina XDR. Liquid Retina just basically means liquid for liquid for the display. Retina because of the Retina display, more about that later. XDR for the extreme dynamic range, so that they can display HDR content well. It has a resolution of 2532 by 1170. What the numbers are weird is because Apple doesn't conform to the industry standard. You know, regular industry standards, they'll give you things like Full HD, you know, and everything. But Apple focuses more on the PPI, the pixels per inch. So that number, right, the PPI number is what determines how sharp or how dense a fixed area of the screen is. So it has 460 PPI, which is way above what the human eye can see at a reasonable distance. 120 Hz ProMotion, that's like my most favorite feature. And HDR. So HDR, it can display up to maximum of 1200 nits of brightness and 1000 nits typical or sustained. Talking about the cameras, well, I mean, nowadays what's a phone without its cameras, right? So talking about the three cameras, they call it the telephoto, the wide, and the ultra wide. So I don't know which is which, but when you look at it, right, you can see that the lens are different sizes and everything. Okay, so the telephoto goes up to 6 times in optical zoom, and up to 15 times in digital zoom. So you basically want optical zoom if you want the clearest quality, and if you just want to zoom in, then yeah, digital works best. So the three cameras, they are amazing. Alright, in daylight, yeah, I've mentioned before, iPhone cameras are one of the best in the business. Their color production, their color accuracy is very good. Okay, so one thing I noticed is that when you first launch the camera app, right, they will actually ask you what kind of profile do you want to set on your camera. it's like a filter, but a global filter. So the default one is like 00, and then tone and warmth. So one is plus 50% warmth, minus 50% warmth, plus 50% tone, minus 50% tone, depending on your color preference. What's the point of having a good camera if your screen can't handle it? So we have already talked about how good the screen is, right? It has a freaking 2,000,000:1 contrast ratio. That's how it achieves its HDR, because it contrast and the brightness. So it's actually a very solid screen. One of the modes that they have been advertising this year especially is called the cinematic mode. So the cinematic mode, right, basically is like you put a phone there stationary, and then you can be moving around and the frame will actually move along in retrospect to it. So it's like the phone is here, you are standing here, you can be moving like that, right? And rather than in the scene, right, you're just moving, the actual frame itself will move to fit you, so you're basically centered in the screen. So I think that's pretty cool, but I probably won't use it. So yeah, that works for most people, but that won't work for me. It's more of a gimmick for me. So now let's talk a little bit about power. So via MagSafe, which is the magnetic induction coil thingy, via MagSafe you can charge up to a maximum of 15 watts. Qi, I don't know how you pronounce it, QI, yeah, the industry standard for the wireless. However, that only halves it at 7.5 watts. For wired, although, that's different. So for wired, right, in the Apple website officially, they'll tell you that it supports 20 watts. So you can actually buy the 20-watt charger. But I've actually read reports, unofficial reports, that the Pro series can actually charge higher than 20 watts. It actually goes up to 24 in some situations where, if I'm not wrong, the battery is between 20 to 40% around there. So it will actually charge faster, which actually explains why I got the 30-watt charger, so that you can actually charge it faster. Given that nowadays you have a lot of Android rivals that actually, you know, they actually move, they actually charge much faster than that. Okay, it runs at iOS 15. Not a surprise. Right now, it came with iOS 15.1.1 out of the box, but I've already updated it to 15.2 manually. So that's a good thing about Apple, because their software and the hardware is so tightly together, right? So the updates in the OS actually, they come quite fast. Talking about SIM card, so it supports a single physical nano SIM, not micro, nano SIM, and it also supports an eSIM. So it supports maximum of a dual SIM configuration if you would like to. So that's all about the phone itself. Yeah, Face ID, fast. Yeah, so the default apps that come with the phone, right, I personally think is too much. Like, this is literally, I haven't installed any apps yet, and this is what it came with. It's like, oh my god, it's so many. I mean, you can delete, right? You just press and hold, then you press remove app. Yeah, but like by default, it comes with so many. Now it's time to talk about the not so good things. Right. So we've already talked about, you know, how good the screen, the camera, and don't get me started on the build quality. This thing is freaking premium. Just now I mentioned about the notch, right? It is 20% smaller than the previous iPhone models. Yeah, 20% isn't enough. I mean, they probably can R&D more, and I really do hope the next generation they can really reduce the size of that notch, if they can. Second thing that really annoys me is that I really love Touch ID. Alright, put in the comment section who loves Touch ID. Just raise up your hand. I love Touch ID. You just press one time, like, see? Woo! Just like that. Yeah. It's awesome, it's fast, and it's reliable. Face ID, on the other hand, it works when I'm not wearing anything, but in case you forgot, we need to wear a mask when we go out, and it doesn't freaking work with a mask on. Actually, it's a good thing it doesn't work, otherwise it's not very secure, right? Yeah, but it doesn't work, so that means that every time I unlock the phone, I have to use my password, which is annoying, because it's like I go back to the olden times like that. One last thing that I really don't like about the iPhone series is the lack of always on display. Android phones, right, we always have this always on display, which means that even when you lock your phone, it's not a black screen. Right? Although now you look at the feature, right? You can like, you know, like, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, like you look at the phone a bit and then the screen will automatically light up. Yeah, that's a good thing. But sometimes I just, you know, out of my pocket, I just want to take it out and then see the time without the whole screen lighting up. Okay, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just a subjective thing. But I would really love to have an always on display, especially since the screen is OLED, which means that the pixels individually turn on and off so that you don't spoil the screen every time you turn it on. That is really the things I hope that, you know, maybe the next generation would have. Other than that, yeah, this phone is amazing. I really love the build quality and everything. Lightning connector, in case y'all don't know, lightning connector, speakers, and also stereo speakers. Okay, if not, I feel that that's about it for our unboxing and first look at the iPhone 13 Pro. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. I'm Chester, that's all for today. See you guys.